Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it is a beautiful day to keep on creating with you. I'm really excited about the pages that have come together. A lot of times when I just do a sketch, I never know what it's going to look like, but when I get to see them come together, it's really fulfilling. I am finishing up my series of Evergreen. So these two make 6 pages so far. I do want to mention that I will have an additional video upcoming where I remix this amazing artwork from Close to My Heart. It's going to be part of a video series that I have coming up that focuses on remixes, which we're doing all of 2024. But this will be coming up sooner than later, and I have a design space file that goes with this, but I'm also going to share manually how you can create something like this. This is something I do all the time, tear pages out of the Close to My Heart catalogs, and I put those aside. I create files and everything. Their artwork is phenomenal. It's so amazing, and they give you a free catalog with every order. So it's so good. Well, within each new period. Okay, so you can see I have my layout all laid out. Let's go over a couple things. I've went ahead and prepped this so that we would be ready to go. This is a linear layout, and this is a layout that I will add pictures to later on. Pre-done pages are an essential part of my crafting. I'll share some of that in a bit. All right, so this is going to be that plaid mink paper that was included, those 2 signature papers. I'm using those as my background paper. I have some other things I'm going to do, but I wanted to lay it out so I could snap off a picture and remember exactly what I was doing. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down now and bring it together. All right, the first thing is this sticker that I have right here that came off the sticker sheet. I also have a white heart from those white paperboard compliments right here. So anytime I say the paperboard, this was all included with this kit as I am continuing to work with the Evergreen scrapbooking workshop. All right, I love them because of the exclusive papers and the die cuts. The rosemary paper here has been cut to 5 inches by 11.5 and 5 inches by 7 3/4. I'm going to be doing some heavy cropping on my photos here, but I actually like that, and I encourage other people to get comfortable with that too. All right, let's go ahead and start putting some pieces down, and then I'll kind of say where I got them all from. All right, as we go. I'm just going to kind of pull this for now. And these white daisy mats, I added this sheet of white daisy. It's just to kind of show where the photos go, but also I have this little background here. You could definitely use French vanilla if you had that. Okay, so for this first piece, I'm going to be lining this up at the 9. All right, so I'm just going to bring this in. I'm just going to move all these pieces down for right now. This is going to go in at the 9, and this is set up to be a 2-page layout. You'll see as I do that weird skip on one side for when you line them up so that there isn't a double frame in the center. This is actually a real thing. I will leave the space to the one side. So this here that I created this photo holder for is 2.5 by 4 3/4. So that's definitely some, we're going to go to the other side, and I'm going to leave just a small gap. Let's make sure my gap is okay there. There we go. I want to be able to see a little bit in between there. All right, so I will crop these down. I actually enjoy cropping my photos, and I will have this in mind for my snow pictures for this year. And I will know that I want to take this orientation for my pictures because my layout is pre-done. And this is the orientation I'm trying to take more photos of on a regular basis using my phone. Okay, I've lined this up, but what I want to do is I want to cut this in half. You can see they're completely hidden. Why waste it? All right, so I'm just going to grab my cutter, and if I line this up here, I can see that we're not quite at 3.5, but the thing is we're going to tuck it. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it. I don't know. We're going to say that that looks pretty good. Now we need to do it again, and I don't want to have to get the cutter out again, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one together as well. And this reserves 1.5 of these doilies for another project, or for a card that I have coming up. I will make a couple cards with the collection as well. I will do our card remix and for the month that we have focused on for sure. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put these to a side, even though I know I'm going to be using them. Okay, before I put this piece down, I want to go ahead and tuck this under. Or put it on top, however you look at it, depending on how much you want to cover. I'm going to put just a little bit of it under, very much towards the edge there. All right. Little bit of liquid glue. This is cut 1/4 by 7 3/4. That's that paper that I really love in this collection. I'm just going to put it right on top of it. There we go. Okay, at the bottom here, I have a 5/8 piece of this pretty paper here, and I just thought this with that, it really does highlight the rosemary so nicely. That rosemary piece that we're using there highlights it so nicely, and then it brings in a couple of the compliments and stickers that we're using. Okay, so for this side over here, this is in the die cuts, and I added that acorn sticker as I mentioned. And I am a person who likes to add my distressed oxide inks sometimes after. So we're going to be adding, though, a little bit right now that I can see it, that it's laid out. This is our rustic wilderness, and it was what was called for the kit. And I'm just going to grab my green distressed oxide. I use this for, you know, all my greens. Okay. And this is one of my rub-off sheets. I'm going to want to add a little bit right down in here, okay? I want to go in nice and faint. I can add more, but I can't take away. Come up around the edge a little bit and then down this way just a little bit. I'm going to rub it off a little bit each time. I don't want to get one of those really dark marks. I'm heavy-handed, so it's definitely something I have to look out for. I found it. There it is. Okay. So a little bit right down there. And if you also want, you can add some up here, but we are going to add some over there. Okay, I'll just put that aside for right now. We'll be using some on the other page. Okay, so this here is a sticker. I thought it was from the die cuts in a prior video, but it is actually a sticker, as are these two little guys right here. I have those. This is from the die cuts. It's the leftover dovetails from that, and we're going to put these together and stick them underneath that little journaling thing. I forgot to do my heart after all that. Let's grab that little white heart, and there's probably enough on here. I'm going to just kind of add a little bit to that white heart of that green. And then I'm going to wipe my hands off because my whole finger is going to be green after this. Apparently my thumb is too. Which you guys would know had to be from the ink, because we all know that I can kill anything you give me. Okay, there we go. Wipe my hand off. Okay, we'll let that dry for a minute, and then we're gonna, oh, I love it. We'll put that little green heart in there, just bringing in a little more of those green tones. Okay, these two here, I wanna add some of this acorn with this wood. So we're gonna just crisscross these, just like this. There you go. And then we're gonna stick them underneath of the journaling. I don't want too much showing. You could also, if you wanted to and you liked it, you could put it out the top like this. You know, so decide where you might like to have it. Or down here at the bottom with our little cluster. And dovetails are pretty easy to make if you wanted to make extra. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to put the this one here on foam tape. I have really enjoyed working with this collection. I think that it really is a very nice Christmas and winter. It really does cross over nicely to allow me to have these winter layouts ready for as soon as we get another snow. We've already had our first snow actually, but okay. And I want that 2 points to come right there like that. Great. This here is a sticker. I took a lot of the adhesive off and I want to add this to the journaling block without foam tape, but I want to keep the bottom line available. That bottom line is where I'm going to put my date, so my date stands out. So it's going to kind of just go right above it. I don't need, you know, always a ton of journaling, but that'll allow me to put the date right down there. There we go. Okay, these two are just going to go on with regular adhesive. Might have enough stick left in them, but better to be safe than sorry. I kind of take it off of all of them. We're going to go right here and then right here with them. All right, I grabbed a bunch of these, but first let's get on this little snowflake. This was in the white paperboard, and we're going to put that right in the center of this. There we go. It's going to line up very nicely there in the center. Okay, so now I have these and I want to attach these together, and I flipped them over. So this is one, they all are facing one direction. Just flip them over and they'll turn into each other, and you'll actually see the little color change because they're our cardstock. They are cardstock embellishments. Basically, the pine is like a cardstock embellishment. Grab some glue dots. Oh, that was not good. Okay, there we go. These are my super, super strong glue dots. Okay, another one. Let's get my close to my hard ones out. There we go. Okay, and I want to add these little sprigs onto my layout, just in different areas that accent the overall layout. So I have multiple things that I can cover the bases up with that I'm putting them. So I'm not worried about having a little bit of glue right there because I have an idea where I'm going to put these to add a little something there that I think is going to work. Okay, cuddle weather. This is one of those things I put it on for the layout so that you guys can see it, but I just cut it off with foam tape. Or I cut the foam tape off and then rub it, put my picture on, and then I put them back on. That's how I do my pre-done layouts when needed, but at least all my stuff is together. Boom, cuddle weather. Oh, that's supposed to be at the top on this side. Hold on. There we go, cuddle weather at the top. All right, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and move over to our other side. All right, we have a bunch to do. The first thing is, let's get this whole thing out of here and we'll bring in our half. Here's our little half, so we'll have that ready. And what I've done here is I have a couple of trees that I had left over, and those are going to go right there. They're already colored. I didn't have to make them because, you know, like I said, I already had them. All right, let's pull this back and we'll go ahead and put this together. And this layout is already really coming together. This is such a quick design to work with. So I feel like it's really good, but it holds a lot of pictures. Now, these are not flip-flap compatible, but I'm okay with that. I actually really like cropping my photos. I just fine to crop my photos. If you want to make sure it lines up perfectly, instead of using your Versamats, you can always just slide your two layouts right next to each other. I'm going to go ahead and place this right next to that and then slide it back to make sure I get it all the way to the edge. Okay, now because I use post-bound, I use a D-ring for my working scrapbooks when I'm putting everything together, but then all my scrapbooks, when I finish, are now post-bound. They do hold less, I am well aware of that, but I like that the pages come really close together. It's just a personal preference. There's no space here, so there will be a space here. That's how that works, okay? So that way it just looks like one cohesive layout and you don't end up with a double space in the middle. Now I'm going to end up with a nice space over to my left here. And I'm going to cut a zip strip down. And I am going to put an embellishment cluster there. I feel like I'm going crooked. Okay, hold on. Let me reshape those up. There we go. Okay. Probably every time I run my adhesive gun. Okay. And you can see here now I have this space here on the end, and this is a zip strip that I have. I'm going to cut that at 5. Which is the height of that piece. There we go. This is going to provide a little bit of background. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready to use some of that as well. That rustic wilderness after we get these pieces on. I'm going to put that down at the top. Right down the middle of whatever's left, whatever your space is. It's pretty forgiving. There we go. Okay. We'll go ahead and put the adhesive on. 5/8 by 11.5. 1/4 will be at the top as well. Okay, so I have this one over to the end. So I want to make sure that when I position this that, you know, I just look at it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want it in the middle and I want that there. But I think I'm right where I want it to be. So it's going kind of in the middle of these two. It's up too high. Slightly, just slightly up too high. It's great to peel it off because if I do anything behind it, we're never going to see it. Right? And if you're gonna want to re-put something on, that's how you want to re-put it on. All right, well, it's going to do that 1/4 of that paper that I really love in this collection. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I've really enjoyed working with the Evergreen. I think the palette is just beautiful. They just gave us beautiful collections back to back to back. Okay, here we go. All right. And for this one over here, I have this, the other half of this doily, and it's going to go right here. I'm just looking. I think it's okay. Wasn't sure if I would want it to stick out a little bit less, but I think it's okay. All right, over here on the edge, I have this from the die cuts and this from the sticker sheet, and I'm just going to attach them to each other with a couple of glue dots, just kind of offset them like this to make this pretty little thing right here. Take those leaves, and I'm going to flip them over and do that same thing so that I kind of have them going in the same direction. There we go. Another glue dot. And we will stick this behind this. This is going to go on foam tape, but we're just getting some sizing here. There we go. All right, I have the trees that were left over and this Winter Wonderland. I want to put that Winter Wonderland on foam tape to match our right page. Right across the bottom. One tree is the taller of the two is not on foam tape. And then the smaller of the two has that foam tape on it. Maybe we get some added dimension. There we go. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing that I've shown multiple times with these, but I wanted to kind of talk about my pre-done layouts. I have to have pre-done layouts. They are a huge part of my scrapbooking. I go away every year for a very long scrapbook weekend. And one of the things that I do is I take a ton of pre-done layouts, like just a crazy amount of pre-done layouts. And while I've taken those pre-done layouts with me, I do work on some other things, but primarily what I do is I do every single picture that I can. I do every single thing that I can with my selfie to get them all done. I'm swapping this one out because I realized I have one of the long ones and I wanted all the same size. So just to let you guys know, I'm just swapping that out. But I do a huge focus on printing pictures from my selfie directly to my, they go from my selfie directly to those pre-done pages. And so for me, they're a huge part of my scrapbooking, and I will always need those. So what I will try to do is with each collection that I do, I'll try to do a pre-done layout to keep that stock going for me, because it's really how I get caught up on a lot of my scrapbooking, as well as it's how I just keep myself moving and motivated. I find pre-done layouts are less stress because I'm not trying to match pictures or put my pictures on. And believe it or not, it is a lot easier for me to crop a picture than it is for me to work with it. I'm much faster. I look at it and go, that's the room I have. Let me go ahead and cut this down. And I'll just take little bits off of each side. A little bit off of this side, a little bit off this side. All right, let's grab this. I did not just do that. It's okay. Whew. Yes, I did though. All right. Luckily for me, it's more on the white than anything else. I will take a little bit of an eraser there. It's going to blend in nicely to that background. It won't be bad. But this is a white eraser, and this has helped me in the past. There we go. I'm not too worried about the white because my picture goes on top. I think I more know that it's there because I put it there. Okay, so here I'm just going to add a little bit of that. And there's a lot still left on this. That's that dark spot that I don't love when I get the darker spots. So I'm glad that, you know, I can just put a little behind it. There we go. Lesson to be heard here is don't open your inks over, and I know this, right? We don't open that over our artwork. Am I going to do it again? Probably. All right, so one of the things when I got this down is I realized I would really like to have an additional one of these stickers on the other side, but I don't know that I have one. So I'm just looking. I do have a couple of stars, so I think I'm going to use that in place of, hold on. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to use this one right here. So then I'm going to, all right, there we go. And then I'll incorporate the stars as well, which will allow me to put that little piece on the other side that is right here. So I will add that to this other side here. We'll put our final embellishments on this. Whew, I'm telling you, that was a lot of stress, right? Okay, as I mentioned, I had a little idea for the edge of these if I wanted to do those. On the sticker sheet, there's these little circle things, and I've been using these a lot. And you can see I could put this little circle there and it could look like a berry. I don't even know if I have 3 of them left though. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the star. I'm gonna put the star on one, and then I'm gonna put this star on this one here. No, I'm good. This one here. I need to swap these. We'll put the white star on the right page. I think it'll be fine. Let's just go ahead and put it on there. All right, and then I have this star right here, and then I'm going to put that other snowflake that I had right here. There we go. No foam tape, just putting those on. Those look super cute. All right, this is looking really good. All right. Okay, so I've been using this jute twine, but right now I'm trying to find what I did with my embellishment, and it's probably right in front of me. So because I put foam tape on it and I peeled it, so it has to be like right here. Isn't that always the way it is? And everyone's probably doing the same thing, like check the front of your shirt, check this. Okay, so I made the embellishment for right here, but it's now turned over. So it's now no longer the color that it would have been. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. And then I'll find it and I'll put it on there for the picture, but you guys have already seen me make the embellishment, so you know what the embellishment is, but that little double tag postage stamp thing will be right there for the photo. Okay, so for this one here, I'm going to be using some pine bling. Don't you guys, now for those of you who are watching it, you're like, oh, I wish I could tell her it's right there, because you guys all know where it is. All right, here we go. And I have a little bit of this pine bling. I'm going to be adding a few of the stars, because it just matches what I have going on. Okay, there we go. Just some of these stars are going to be super pretty. There we go. This one's a large star. And then I'll add a small one right there. And because I have those stars that are in there, it's giving that there's that 3. And then another set down here. That's a medium and a small. Gosh, those look so good. Okay, now I've been putting this on every single layout that I've done. This is just some twine that I've had in my stash, and I want to go ahead and add that again. And don't worry guys, I will definitely find my embellishment, because whenever I can't find an embellishment, I call George or Jacob into the room. They have some power that as soon as they walk into the room, it's like the thing pops out and says, here I am. So I have no doubt that I will find it. This is my 3rd layout with this collection, and I have really loved each one. This scrapbooking workshop it just had everything. All right, this is going on this right here, so that when I put that embellishment on top of it, it will be there and be perfect. Okay, that's going to do it for me. I think this one's good to go. Here we go. We have another layout with our Evergreen Collection. I really love that I get to add this to my pre-done layouts. They're just a big key for me with the amount of scrapbooking that I have to do. I have just so much scrapbooking. I'm the only one who scrapbooks in my family. So as I continue to get more and more items, photographs, memorabilia, and everything, the list of the amount of scrapbooking that I have just continues to grow. Okay, I will see you back for another video. If you found this video useful, if you found the tip friendly or anything, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe. It really does help me out here in the YouTube community, and I greatly appreciate it. I wish you guys a wonderful day filled with crafty goodness, and take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.